Welcome to the Simmering Sessions. I'm Nicole Reed. This is where recipes are shared, stories are told, and every meal is an opportunity to bring people together. So pull up a chair, stay a while, and let's get something simmering. Okay, so let's start with why I started Sauce and Simmer. Honestly, I've had this name on my mind for, oh my gosh, I really don't know how long. It's been several years. But as far as like the heart of it all and why I started it, I grew up cooking with my mom and my aunt. And I just remember like wanting to know how they did everything they did. I wanted to know, like, just from the basics of, okay, they made mashed potatoes. What does it take to do that? Okay, they do corn several different ways. Sometimes it's on the cob, sometimes it's off the cob, but it's not like it's just sauteed with a little bit of, salt and pepper. Like they did something different. And then, like, the piece that really got me was every holiday, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, just those major holidays where you have those larger meals. And I had to be in the kitchen. I wanted to know how they made the dressing, how they made the chicken and dumplings, how they made, the green beans, like anything that they made, I wanted to be involved and be in there. Um, Before I was able to actually cook, obviously I was there tasting it all and it tasted just amazing. But, when I got to the age where I wanted to actually physically, do things, help, like I couldn't be kept out of the kitchen. And even before getting in the kitchen, just I remember with, Grand Hardy, my granddad, we call him Grand Hardy. Um, I remember, we had a small garden, which most people did back then. But, I remember shucking the corn and, just sitting, like, in a circle out in our yard with, him, my sister, my cousin, my mom, my aunt just out there, and my grandmother just shucking corn. And you have the snap peas, like, you're shelling those, popping peas out of the pods. Like, I remember those moments, and I just really enjoyed being able to contribute in that way as a young child before I could actually get into the kitchen. I honestly can't remember the age. I mean, maybe it was, 6, 7, probably younger, who knows? I just know that I was there and we were doing it. But kinda started there. The days where I could just get in the kitchen and cook with them, I get on a chair or stool, whatever I could find to climb on and, um, and cook with them. It was just like, that was my happy place then. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the smells of all the different seasonings and the things cooking. A lot of frying going on back in the day, so just some chicken being dropped in the grease, some pork chops, like, just oh my gosh, I'm just transported back thinking of it, but all of that was absolutely amazing, and as I grew up, I think about all those things that we cooked together or that they provided for us, and I'm like, "Okay, I want to do this without them." So, obviously, there was that period where I cooked alongside my mother or alongside my aunt, but, the moment where I would say Sauce and Simmer started, it was honestly probably, mm, between 2008, 2010, where I had to cook, like, a holiday meal, a Thanksgiving meal just all by myself, and, you always think at first you can't do it, and years prior to that, there were opportunities to cook things on my own, but I'm constantly calling my mom, "Okay, mama, I did this. Okay, mama, I did that. Okay, auntie, I did this, I did that." So you're just constantly calling them to find out, okay, where I went wrong, what should I do next? And just getting their advice. I had, those years, that period, and they were always so willing to help, so willing to tell me, how to cook something, what I should do different, ask me why I did this, why I did that. But honestly, the moment when I cooked the dumplings, the dressing, the turkey, the red velvet cake, the mashed potatoes, the baked mac and cheese, just, all those things, the cornbread, when I did all of these things just on my own without having to call them for help was the moment that I realized, like, cooking isn't just something that I enjoy, it's something that I love. It's something that has to always be a part of my life. That is my peace, that is my happy place. Just being in the kitchen, I just lose track of time. I just cook. Just the spices, the food, just seeing all the things around me, the the disarray in the kitchen, like everything just that is my happy place. That is where I find comfort. That is where I'm stressed, where I know I can find peace is just being in the kitchen. So that was a time where I knew this meant more to me than just providing a meal. So that's honestly the origin of Sauce and Simmer, or where my love and passion and realization that I wanted my future to always involve cooking was. It started there. It started there. I That's all I can say is it started there. So if we want to talk about um why cooking became more than a hobby. I mean, okay, let's start here. First, people like to say, find something you love, do it, make money at it, and you'll never work a day in your life. I've never believed in that philosophy. I tested that at one point, which is this is for another episode. Um, and I confirmed that, in my opinion, that may be true for others, but in my opinion, it's not true. So, a hobby, I mean, that's what it is some type of interest, something that that piques your interest, an activity or something that you do for pleasure or just for relaxation or whatever. And it's not your main occupation. So I guess maybe cooking was a hobby at some point for me. It was something that I wanted to do that wasn't like a source of income, whether primary or not a source of income for me. And I guess to this day, sauce and simmer or, it's still genuinely a hobby for me because it's nice if someone would pay me to do it, but I don't want it to be an obligation. Once it becomes an obligation, the fun of it is gone. The therapeutic sense of it is gone because I'm required to do it. There's something attached to it. Right now, as it stands in my heart today, honestly, as it's always stood, like cooking is a hobby. It is therapy for me. It should not be an occupation. It should not be something that I do with the intention of gaining monetary proceeds from it. Um, I really, really just enjoy it because it's fun and I just love the taste of everything. And it's not just cooking for me. I like so enjoy cooking for other people. That is where my heart really is. I mean, I will cook at home, but I mean, I'm cooking for my kids, and that is amazing. Like my son will tell you, hey, poor thing. Sometimes he has to wait a while to get his food. Dinner is ready or officially cooked, but I have to plate it properly. I have to take pictures. Like the presentation, everything has to be there. So by the time sometimes he gets his meal, it might be a little below temp, but I've gotten better over the years. And I've, strategically done my plating so that I can still plate it beautifully, take my pictures, and serve it to him while it's still warm. But I have to admit, he appreciates the extra attention and touch that, his meals get. And when I would, make the plates and have the presentation plate, and then you have the one that you just kind of, you throw together because dinner's ready. Of course, he would always pick the perfectly placed and presented plate. Who wouldn't? So cooking, I guess, and it's for me, is still a hobby. It's still a hobby because it's something that I enjoy, something that I do because it's a necessity. We have to eat, but it's something that I do because I enjoy it. You can do those semi homemade meals where you We'll grab something from the freezer section in the grocery store, pop it in the oven. Maybe you throw together a salad on the side, or you sprinkle some Parmesan cheese on top of whatever baked dish you made. Because let's face it, 90% of the baked dishes involve some type of cheese. So sprinkling a little freshly grated Parmesan on top gives it that little home touch. So we all do it. I do it from time to time, but I don't want to depend on just something like that. Like I want to make the whole lasagna, the enchilada platter, like the baked ziti. I want to do it all myself because I find joy in that. So cooking, yes, it's more of a hobby because it is a safe space and a happy place for me. But it's still a hobby because I genuinely and thoroughly enjoy it. I will if I'm cooking breakfast, I got my cup of coffee, got my music playing, whatever music it may be. It might be Lauren Daigle, it might be India Arie, I got that playing and I'm cooking and I'm sipping on my coffee. Um, I mean, sometimes we have a big lunch. If the mood strikes and I wanna cook something because I feel like, I wanna make this today, we might have a big lunch. And again, I'm in the kitchen. I got my ice water. I've got my herbs and everything spread out like I'm cooking my meal. Most of it does happen at dinner time. I have my glass of wine and I'm just cooking and I'm loving it and I'm enjoying it. And a lot of times I do have some music playing, but sometimes it's just the sound of, you know, the vegetables sizzling in the pan before I saute my green beans with garlic and some red onion, thinly sliced, but some red onion, and then some chicken broth, a few other seasonings. Um, I get that all seasoned sauce, and then just a sound of you put the chicken broth in there, cover it up, and just let it sit and saute. If it's my pork chops that I'm doing over here, the sizzle of those in the pan. If I'm doing shrimp that day, like it's just the sound and the smell of just the meat, like, hitting the pan and when all the spices combine with that, just it smells so good, and the sense of when it's out cooking and the melody, again, of the sauteing, the whistling, the steam releases from the side of the pan when you're it's just words cannot describe the sounds and the feeling that you get when you're in the kitchen, in the moment, in the process of making this meal. When it's all done and you get to find the perfect plating vessel, whether it's a bowl, whether it's glass, get creative, have fun with it. Like plate on whatever you want. But like a stone tray or something like that. It's just make it pretty. Have fun. Like just do whatever you want. Like there's no limit to what you can play. And fresh herbs are amazing. Absolutely amazing. Like I clearly haven't gotten off topic here, but I'm supposed to be talking about how cooking became more than a hobby. But it's more than just a hobby. It's a passion that I love and that was instilled in me with my mom and my aunt. And I just it will always be a part of me. And I like to think that when people think of me, that's one of the main things they think of. Like, okay, she enjoyed cooking. Was every meal always good? No. We all have mishaps. So every meal was not good. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I enjoy making it. We enjoyed trying it together. And we enjoyed when we said, okay, we're gonna order pizza, we're gonna eat out because this right here wasn't hitting. But doesn't matter. The fun was in doing it, just enjoying it. Cooking for people is just so. Did cooking ever become more than a hobby? Maybe it became a passion, maybe it became a way of life, but at the end of the day, it's still something that interests me, that brings me joy. So, I believe that food brings people together because uh, it just does. Like, think of it. You come home from work, what's the first thing you're thinking about? What's for dinner? You sit down with your family and you talk about your day and you enjoy your meal, you laugh, you just whatever, you just have conversation. holidays. When holidays come around, besides asking who gonna be there, you're going to ask, "What are we having?" So, you're talking about food then. And you have big events. If you're at work and you're like, "Oh, okay, we're gonna have a company picnic." Okay, what's the food going to be? Oh, okay, we're going to have some type of retreat. Okay, what snacks, what meals we're going to have? Like, so it's involved in work. Any kind of church gathering is gonna be some type of food. No matter what you are doing in life, if there's a grouping of people, there's going to be food involved. So food brings people together and people often ask about it. Also concerned with who's bringing the food, but again, another episode, talk about that a different day. But food brings people together in so many ways. A lo a lot of people have anxiety about talking to people, especially new people, strangers. So if chatting with someone over a plate of appetizers, so much easier to do. Even if it's because, okay, I can say a word or two and pop something in my mouth to, have that distraction so I don't have to talk in this moment. Okay, good. Food was there, served a purpose. Or if you want to comment on whatever food is there. Food brings people together. Like I said, with holidays, always gonna, I mean, there are the staple items that you have. New Year's, depending on your culture, of course, but New Year's, you've got, your black eyed peas you have to have. You have to have some type of pork, some type of green. Those are traditional things that, some cultures like to have. And you're going to ask, okay, are we going to have that? If it's summertime and you're doing, backyard barbecues, getting together, there's going to be some type of salad, usually potato salad. And you're going to have that, maybe a pasta salad. You really hamburgers and hot dogs, ribs, steaks. Again, that's a gathering. Birthday parties. Usually those are hamburger, hot dog, pizza type events, some kind of quick food where you can enjoy the time of providing a meal, but it's something quick where you can still spend time with the people that you care about and you're getting together. And then you've got your big birthday cakes or whatever type of dessert you're going to have. So that's a gathering event. Easter, you've got your Easter meal. Again, it's like many of the other holidays. You've got your ham, mashed potatoes, green beans, those kind of sides of things that you're going to have for Easter. Thanksgiving, you've got the beautiful turkey. Oh, that's dressed with, you got your gravy on the side over here. You got your dressing, stuffing. For some people, we don't do stuffing in the South. We do dressing. So dressing, um, some people have their green bean casserole. You got your sweet potato pies. You got your red velvet cakes. You got your banana pudding. You've got your collard greens with your cornbread. Like, these are your holidays, and then Christmas, you've got your ham, like, clearly I like food because I keep talking about menus, but, um, like, it's the happy moments there, food is involved. When someone's sad and they're going through something, like, "Okay, do you need some ice cream?" There you go, food again, you're bringing some food to somebody or their whatever their favorite dessert or treat is, you're bringing it to them. If someone's sick, "Okay, I'm gonna make you some homemade chicken noodle soup." Or some matzo ball soup, something like some type of, comforting food. When they're sick, you gotta bring that over to them. When people have, a loss of life in their family, like, the first thing you do, okay, who's setting up the meal train? Who's gonna bring things over to them? A birth, same thing, meal train, who's gonna bring food? Like, food brings people together. You can talk about your recipe, you can talk about what this dish means to you. Maybe it's just a simple "Thank you for bringing this to me." You don't know what it means, and then that opens up the door to talk about other things, like, food really does bring people together in so many ways. It does. So, that's why I believe that food brings people together. It's not a matter of what I believe, it's just facts. It's facts, like, there's very few momentous moments in life where food is not involved. So, food is definitely one of those things that's included when, you have milestone moments in life. So, I believe food brings people together, and we're all better at the end of it. So, I know podcasts are super, super popular right now. I've listened to them myself for years, and honestly, I never ever expected that I would be hosting, participating in one in any way. But, but here I am, and I'm really excited for this journey. As far as what you can expect from my podcast, I love cooking, so a lot of it will be about meals and recipes that I've made, things that I've done in the kitchen, but honestly, it's more than that. My passion for cooking is people gathering together, just the joy that it brings and the bridges that it gaps and the moments that it helps you reveal, like the good, the bad, the indifferent, and how it helps you to also overcome those moments. Because we may talk about some sensitive subjects over meals, but usually, usually at the end of those, there's some peace and there's some compromise. There's, at minimum, there's some understanding where the other person came from. And I just love those shareable moments that happen when you're around a meal. I love when you talk about the good and the bad of your day over a meal. I love when you can laugh and tell jokes about it. Maybe the joke is how you almost burned dinner today and you had to open all the windows and doors because you were about to smoke yourself out. Maybe it's someone that told you how unsharp your knives were. I'm not gonna say dull because I don't like that word. Unsharp your knives were, and you sharpen them all, and going through your emotions, you kind of got used to those unsharp knives, and you sliced a bit more than your vegetables. So maybe that's the funny conversation that you have. But those are the kind of things you can expect from this podcast. Like we're gonna talk about food for sure because that's my heart, that's my love language. But, but we wanna get into more of that. We wanna get into the people that we're gathering around the table with. We wanna get into why those meals are being shared. We wanna get into the stories behind those meals. We wanna get into the day that we talked about around those meals. And not just food, we just wanna talk about life. Like, my faith is very important to me. And that's instilled in a lot of what I do. There's prayer over every meal. Like I pray, my son prays. When I have friends over, like, we take turns praying over the meal. Like so faith is huge, huge part of how I live my life and it drives the decisions that I make. And we'll talk about just lifestyle things in general, like, how your day with, how it is raising, adult children while also raising, teenagers. We can talk about what it's like just hanging out with your girls. We can talk about traveling. Food's definitely gonna be involved in the travel talks. Just again, just life overall and how any moment that you go through, like there's going to be food involved. So we'll incorporate that somehow, some way. But I want to talk about just life. I want to talk about um the hospitality of inviting those that you care about and you cherish and you love into your home or going to share their space with them and what those experiences are like. And at the end of it all, like food has a way of not just nourishing our body because we need it for the nutrients, but it nourishes our soul. So those are the things that you can expect from this podcast. Just genuine, heartfelt, day to day experiences that you have and that you can share with each other. So I hope that that's something that you are interested in, that you want to just kind of join in as far as conversation and listening, because I would love to hear your thoughts and your input too. But that's what you can expect from, the Simmering Sessions. So you guys have listened to me kind of ramble and talk about, my journey, why I started Sauce and Simmer, what I'm doing, and, what food in general means to me. But it's not just about me. We'll have other guests on the show at some point too to kind of talk through things and share their experiences and fun and their input and tips into life and food. But just this is a journey that we're on together. We're just living life and enjoying it and loving it because God told us to live life and live it abundantly. So while there may be trials and tribulations, like He expected us to enjoy life, and we're going to enjoy that with food. Okay, He provided it all the time, so we're gonna take part in that too. So I do have a question for you. So tell me, like we've talked about like what food means to me, um, the joy, especially with holidays and just all the traditions and things that you have. So I mean. What's one thing that makes you feel like home? I'll tell you what makes me feel like home. Not in this episode. You'll have to stay tuned. I'll tell you in another one. But what is one meal, like if you're traveling, if you've just moved out, if you've just gone to college, if you've just not even just going to college as a young person, just as an adult, you finally moved away from family. Like, what is that one thing that meal that you're like, oh my gosh, like this is home for me. This makes me think of growing up, being in the, whether I'm in the kitchen cooking or I just smell the scents wafting from the kitchen. Like, what is the one meal that instantly makes you feel like you're at home? I want to know. Share that with me. So before I go, I do want to thank you for just spending part of your day with me. I know you didn't have to do this, but I love it. I respect it. I appreciate it. And if anything about today's conversation encouraged you, like taught you something new or inspired you for your next meal or whatever you want to do, let me know. Share this episode with somebody else. We all enjoy gathering with those that we care about and love. So share this with someone too. And until next time, keep simmering, keep sharing, and always make room at the table. Thanks for spending a little time around my table today. Until next time, keep simmering, keep sharing, and don't forget to make room for one more at the table. Thanks for joining me for this simmering session. I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed today's episode, I'd love to have you back next week. Be sure to follow the Simmering Sessions. And if you know someone who could use a little inspiration in the kitchen, share this episode with them.